Okay, we are now live. It is Sunday, July 3rd, 16:18 o'clock. That's the military time for you guys. So let me just make sure that things are properly set up on my end. So this live stream is going to be public because this is the first Sunday of the month. First Sunday of the month, the live stream is public. The rest of the Sundays, it is only for my members at a special tier. I think it's $6. It might be around $6 US a month. Super cheap. Super cheap. So let me just put the right thumbnail so that this makes it attractive. Like this. So this is kind of the behind the scenes. What do I say? I don't say much. I don't say much. I usually don't say, no, not this one. This one, yeah, well, yeah, I don't say much. I don't like to do these titles and everything. Weekly live technical analysis. Tesla and Palantir, and also Tesla, Palantir, and Dow Jones and everything. Dow Jones, S&P 500, what else? Nasdaq, and so on. Okay, let's do this. So basically, I'm back from vacation. Hello, Chili Badger. Yeah, good day to you too. Brighton, UK. Went to the UK a couple of years ago. Great city. Well, London is a fantastic city. Super. We had a lot of fun. Very nice city. Hello, Ted T. Yeah, thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. Is it showing? I don't see. I'm still getting used to this eCam thing, which is supposedly the best streaming thing for the Mac. But you know, it's a bit convoluted. But hey, what can you do? Yeah, thank you, AR. Miss you too, guys. Also, so basically, I was on vacation last week, so we left Saturday. No, we left Friday evening, actually, if I remember correctly. It's been so long. And yeah, so we went to Florida, went to Walt Disney World for a couple of days with the kids who are not very much kids anymore, but they still love Disney. So yeah, I do too. And also went on the inaugural Disney Wish cruise. So basically, this was the first cruise open to well, it was basically the media event. So Good Morning America was on the ship. We saw John Stamos from Full House. That's about it in terms of celebrities. And so basically this was the first trip for that new boat. So Disney has not... Well, this is the first new boat for Disney since 2010, I think, or 2012, I'm not sure. So, you know, it was a big event and the boat was brand new, so it was super nice. And we came back yesterday, very far, very late. On Disney stock. I have behind the scenes information about Disney. Yeah, they are coming up with a few more ships. Let's look at Disney stock. Why not? They are coming back. They are coming up with a few more ships in the next couple of years. One thing that I find pretty interesting is that you know, Disney is all about details and all about customer experience, and you know, this ship is pretty much the same. So they have a what they call a kids club, you know, where you can send your kids during the day if the parents want to do some parents things, and they have an automatic hand washing machine for kids. So I had not seen that anywhere, and we know how little kids, you know, they have a hard time washing everywhere. So I tried it. So you put your two hands in two kind of tubes, and the machine does the rest. So it starts spinning some water on your hands, warm water, the right temperature. Then the soap come in, and you leave your hands there, and then the rinse comes, and then the machine tells you, okay, it's done. So you remove your hands and you take some paper and dry your hands manually. So that's the only manual part, and the rest is all automatic. But wow, this was a great wash, and you come out of that, and your hands are so soft. It's incredible. So it's fantastic. Takes 20 seconds. So you know, Disney guys, Disney is Disney. Yeah, this is a great company. Well, this is a great company in terms of the customer experience that they do. So let's see if I have them here. In terms of technical analysis, that's a different thing. Well, okay. Okay, maybe it's not the time to invest in Disney yet. You know, still coming down here on the resistance. Still in a bullish downward, well, a bearish channel. Depending on where we want it. Yeah, I think I want to do it here. So yeah, Disney, well, we still have, it's still in this downward channel. So even though it's a great company, like many great companies, they might be down and they will come back up, but we don't stay in those stocks. Well, I say we, but it's more I don't stay in a stock when it's going down. What's the point? What's the point? The point is to buy low, sell high, not buy at a certain point and the stock is going down, and then you hold on there for maybe years so that the stock comes back higher than what you bought, but you missed all of this. You know, well, you could have shorted that part and you missed the really low from the high. So yeah, that's the philosophy of this channel. So I'm saying this because this is a live, this is a public live as opposed to a member live, because it's the first Sunday of the month. So I might be repeating stuff that are obvious to my members, but please bear with me. So okay, so let's look at Tesla, Palantir briefly on the daily chart. So yeah, so what can I say? But Tesla gave a, you know, this was a breakout right here on Monday. This was a breakout on Monday. I did not do a video on Monday, so stochastic was over 60. MACD was broken over bullish. I think, yes, RSI was at above 50. And DMI was also positive. So, you know, a lot of signs. There were a lot of signs, the break of the resistance, blah, blah, blah. So technically the stock should have taken off, but sometimes it does not work. And, you know, it did not work this time. So I think I had told you guys, that because we had a great finish on Friday. You know, we had a great finish on Friday, and on Friday, you know, we had a break. We had the break on Friday. So at Friday, you know, at 4 o'clock or just before, stochastic was over 60, and you know, all that I've said was true except for the DMI, and the DMI came the next day. And it, you know, as I said in the past, sometimes, you know, when we break a resistance, there are certain rules that you can apply. You know, I got burned on my call. I got burned on my call. I bought a call on Friday because the stock seemed like it was going to break the resistance. Stochastic was great. So I bought a call, knowing that the next week I was maybe not going to be able to look at the stock that much. So I bought a call, a couple of $1,000, and yeah. So the day on Monday was okay. Then it started to go south after that on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, if I go on the weekly, let me see. Monday was the 27th. Huh? So the 27th, it was good. It broke here. Well, first, sorry, it broke that downward resistance on the 1 hour chart on Friday and maintained itself quite well. So this is where I bought my call here. Then on Monday, started to go high up, then came back down sideways, little bit down, but maintained itself quite well. See here, maintained itself quite well. Stochastic stayed over 60, so there was some, it maintained itself quite well. Then tried to go up, was squished down big time. So this is the first hour on Tuesday, and then it started to go down here. So when I saw this here, I think, yes, I was watching my phone. I was watching my phone at Disney once in a while. Where is this last stock? And when I saw this here, I said, okay, this was a breakout. This was a real breakout, but it did not go very far. It happens. So I sold my call at a loss here, maybe lost $1,500 here. But losing $1,500 is better than holding on to something that's coming down forever and losing everything. So the first loss that you take is the smallest. So this is my philosophy, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to have false starts like this. Tesla has done that in the past a little bit. So in January 3rd, breakout here out of this downward channel, breakout. Second day it stayed there, and then it came back down. So this was another case. So we have two cases where Tesla did us badly, but the rest of the time we knew not to get in because Tesla did not break this resistance. So at least I love technical analysis for this, is that it's telling us when not to buy. And sometimes, like in these two instances in the past 8 months. So I'm gonna take this. Nothing is perfect, so this is good enough. Then the stock broke. Here it was a nice break. It was a real break, and it led somewhere. So you could have made money here and sold at some point when it broke underneath this one. So there's a little bit of profit to be taken here. But you can take profit at any point, so yeah. So this is a long discussion, but this was a legitimate breakout that we could make money on. This was not really, and this was not really. Well, voilà. That needed to be said. Okay, so let me go back to the weekly chart. So on the daily chart, am I finished with the daily chart? Maybe not. So daily chart. So daily chart. So we try to break outside of it, and look at how it sat on that resistance on Monday. It sat on it perfectly. So odds were in our favor, even though it turned out not to work. But odds were in our favor. So now we are still back inside this downward channel with these two resistance, and it seems like the stock wants to make another go. So we have a little bit of a support a little bit of a support forming here. Stochastic is not very good though at 33, so maybe this is going to go further down. But each time we do this, you know, each time we are coiling. So the spring is coiling, and if we hold 619.66, of course, if we hold this, we should break for good at some point. We should break for good at some point. So it could have been here, but it's gonna have to be a little bit later. But that's fine. That's fine. At least we don't buy something and hold it until it craters from 1200 to 600. Okay. So let me look at the weekly chart. So how did the weekly chart fared? So okay, so weekly chart, the chart is a little bit different because the lows are not exactly at the same place and everything. So weekly chart, we have a nice strong support at 627 right here. Nice strong support. This has been a support since May 16th. So, you know, this is kind of a significant support right here. And this was a try to get out of that support. And on the weekly chart, it's very clear that it did not close, you know, it did not close outside of that resistance. So on the weekly chart, this was not a break. This was not a break. And to have a good move on the daily chart, we need to have a decent weekly chart. And in terms of the weekly chart, stochastic is at just 11. So so the weekly chart is not on our side very much with this weak stochastic. MACD below zero. The two lines are below zero, and the green line is below the red line. So this means that this is a crossover bearish. Stochastic is below 50, so that's bearish, and the MI, the red line is above the green line, so that's bearish too. So on the weekly chart front, there's no indication that things should be started. So yeah, we should keep that in mind. So from a weekly chart perspective, it's going to take a few weeks before things are happening for good. And let's look at the monthly while we are at the beginning of July. If we look at the monthly chart, so monthly chart, you know, support right here, 624. It's touching support, and last week was a little bit off of support. Okay, that's nice. In terms of the rest of the indicators, what are they telling us? Stochastic at 34, not the 60 that we like to have here, but MACD, the two lines are above zero. So the two lines being above zero, that's a good sign. MACD, when the two lines of MACD are below zero, the overall stock is bearish. The overall stock is bearish. When the two lines are below zero, the overall stock is bearish. But when we have a crossover bullish, it means that while being bearish, the stock has overextended itself, as is oversold, and is starting to come back up to some resistance. So some people, and I've had some success in the past by buying when MACD crosses over bullish, when MACD is very below zero, and you can only, well, you can buy at that point, but then you should not expect the stock to go super far, super fast, because it's really in an oversold position, and it might just be coming back up to a downward resistance. which is okay, but there's still money to be made here, but it just depends on your time perspective. But this is something that you can do. On the MACD front, on the monthly chart, so yeah, so overall MACD monthly is bullish, but we are in a pullback situation because we have a MACD breaking over bearish right here. So monthly wise, the Tesla stock is still in a very good position. It's just weekly that it's not quite there yet. Yeah. And RSI, okay, close to 50, you know, 40. Well, I think I'm going to leave that there because 49.82 is so close to 50. It should not even matter. And DMI is still bearish. So monthly wise, long-term monthly, Tesla is still good. It's just the weekly part that's that we are having a hard time a little bit with it. Okay, so so AR is telling me, and how come this is not showing? I'll have to find out. What are your resistance level on the break? Well, the break, it depends. If you mean this this break here, I'm going to put it in purple. So this break here, it depends. You know, we could break it here. It could do this again. We could break it here. We could break it here. So I don't know at what level we are going to break it, but we will know when we are going to break it because it's going to show. It's going to show, and when it shows that it closes outside of it, above this resistance line, if it closes above this resistance line, we are going to check if stochastic is over 60, and maybe we are going to wait for a second day of a close above, because if we wait only for 1 day, but sometimes it comes back down. So so either we wait for a second day and maybe lose a little bit of gains if the second day is nice like this, or we don't wait a second day and we get in and we do what I did and we lose a little bit of money. So you choose your pick. I'm holding shares at cost 990. I have August put. August 19 put at 650. Okay, you are at 650, so the put is okay. The strike of the put is right here. Okay, well, it seems to be bouncing a little bit above of this. It seems to be bouncing a little bit above. And you have shares at a cost of 990. So I don't know when you bought, but you are at 990. You are around here at $1,000. Okay, interesting. Why buy puts on the stock you hold long? Put contracts put downward pressure. Yeah, I guess you are hedging yourself a little bit. Hedge Tesla by shorting. Hedge Tesla by shorting NIO or Ford. Okay. I don't know if the correspondence is exactly the same, but that's an interesting bet. Are you 100% into technical and don't pay any attention to delivery and earnings of interest? Well, yes, I'm pretty much. Well, I listen to the fundamental, but you know, there are so many things fundamentally that should theoretically affect the stock that does not in the end, because news are not buying stock and selling stocks. It's people that are buying stock and selling stock, and people are psychological and emotional in nature. So it's not the news that affect the stock, it's how the news is interpreted. And sometimes we have Tesla having a great quarter, and the stock still tanks afterward. Case in point. Case in point. So, you know, if you go on fundamental analysis here, you say, well, I should buy Tesla because, you know, they are having great revenues and blah, blah, blah. But the stock market is forward looking, not past. So, you know, even though Tesla is doing great, why did it fall here? Well, you can explain it afterwards. Well, maybe because of inflation, because of the war, because of this, because of that, because we don't know if the chip shortage is going to resolve itself. There are so many things, so many fundamental things that you can look at, and for each of these pieces of facts or news, you should, if you are fundamental and long term, you can just buy Tesla and just forget about it, and you will make money in 2030. Um, but if you want to base your buying strategy on fundamental news and everything, you have to figure out for each pieces of news how much it's going to impact the stock, because you have the inflation that is having a negative effect, but you have the Tesla deliveries that might have beat expectation. So which one is going to win, you know? So what I do is that I look at the result of all of the news processed by all of the people's psychology, and that conclusion is the stock price. That's it. So looking at the stock price gives you everything. So that's my opinion. This is how I am investing, and this is what I'm sharing with you guys. So yes, I would say I'm 100% technical analysis, because if I don't see a move in the price, even though there is a good news, it's the move in the price that counts, because we buy low and sell high, and if the stock does not move, we cannot buy a piece of news and sell on the piece of news. If there's no movement in the stock price, we cannot do anything. Yes, Palantir is coming. Sold the put. So Ted T sold the put. So at 650, and so far that's good news, because the stock seems to be rebounding on this. And then you also have stochastic on your side here. Stochastic is going over 60 on the 1 hour chart. So most likely this is going to go a little bit higher. So I don't. So your put is expiring in August. So you have August 19th. Okay, so you have 7-8 weeks. So we'll see. But that's a nice bet. And every trade is a bet, and there's an element of risk in every trade. So okay, so that's it for Tesla. But really, the takeaway is that weekly wise not ready, and daily wise not ready yet either. So at least another week of doing nothing before things maybe start to pick up again. What's your take on the Q2 results and how it will affect? So I've been away on vacation, so I don't know. I have some catching up to do on the deliveries that Tesla might have mentioned. And to me, I've seen Tesla stock behave badly with good results, and behave well with bad results, that I'm gonna wait and see the next day what is happening with the stock. So I won't predict. I'll just wait and watch and be ready to jump in the right direction of where things are going. Harry Chu, Tesla reported 28% year-over-year unit sale growth of the company. Yes, I totally agree with you. I totally agree. Tesla, you know, okay, I'm going to show you something. I totally agree that fundamentally Tesla is a fantastic company. Totally agree. But look at this. $1,200 in November of last year, and now 600. So this is what I'm saying. We don't buy the news, and we don't buy the good production numbers. We don't buy that. We buy this, and that, this thing, this stock price has been going down, even though everything you say is great. So either you choose long term, so that you are not too much affected by this, or you take this as your first input and as your only input and play this, because playing this is not too bad. It's not too bad. It's a little bit more work, but it's not too bad. It's great actually. Yeah, so let's go to hyper chart. I'm still dehydrated from my flight. It's incredible. Isn't it correct? Hyper charts? Hyper chart? Okay, it's .co. Yeah. Vehicles delivered. Revenues. Like this. Revenue and operating income. Net income. See the angle of my arm? Margins, even margins. It's going like this. Fantastic. It's a great company. I believe this. Cash is not too bad either. So everything is going like this, but the stock price is going like this. So who is winning? It's the stock price. Okay. Show me the chart and I'll, yeah. Ben, what I find is that when the stock price is doing well, suddenly there are some great news about Tesla that are coming out. So it's as if some people knew beforehand, which is clearly possible, or the news is a little bit, or the articles are a little bit driven by the stock price. So if a journalist sees Tesla go up, maybe they are going to think, well, maybe I should do an article about Tesla, and they look about and they dig about something and they write about it. So AR, you are not too far from my observation. The problem, Doug, the problem is that all the news shows it came slightly below estimates. Basis, exactly. That's another thing. Analysts make estimates. So Tesla might have, as you say, might have the strongest month ever. But if the analysts who don't know much, we are going to be honest, say, well, it should have been this, then this increase from quarter to quarter, even though it's a fact, will be interpreted as bad because they missed the estimates. So how stupid can this be? How stupid can this be? I have nothing else to say. June was the strongest month ever. If it continues like June, yes, we should. I give you that. We should. But we are at $600. So I totally agree with you guys. But again, we buy a stock price and we sell a stock price, and there's a lot of crap between facts and the actions of people buying and selling. There's a big gap between those facts and those actions, and so there's not a direct, there's how can I put this? It's hard to understand the correlation between the two. It's very hard, and it's impossible to see it in advance. So this is why the technical analysis people tend to only look at the stock price. And look at this. The stock price is not random. The stock price is not random. Look at how the stock is obeying to this line. Look at it. It's pretty incredible. Huh? touched it here, 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 quite close, here, here, here. So there's some hidden patterns that are at play, and this is what we are surfacing on this channel. Okay, enough preaching. Enough preaching. I'll go to Palantir, and then we are going to look at the indices. Yeah, and I wish TradingView had this feature where I could wipe out all of those drawings. Harry Chu, one day this ridiculous Ukraine conflict will end. You do not want to be short that day, and your chart won't predict that. No, it won't predict that. But I'll be the first one to see it when it happens. And I'll see a bar that will do this. And the next day, so I will be 1 day late. 1 day late. And then the stock will do this. Whoops, sorry. I'll be 1 day late. 1 day late. But then I'm going to get this. I can take that trade. Instead of predicting, when is it going to happen? I don't know when is it. Nobody knows when it is going to happen. It's a different philosophy, my friend. It's a different philosophy. Different philosophy. Okay. So let's look at Palantir. So Palantir, yeah, Palantir is doing quite well, doing quite well. So we are bouncing, you know, look at how we are following this upward resistance right here. Boom, boom. So we are in a double resistance kind of thing, and this is our support here. And the stock is just touching these two lines. This is what it's doing. And so we touched this resistance right here, came back down, and we seem to have nice support at $9 here. Nice support, and we seem to be bouncing here. Stochastic is still good. We have the red line above the red line, the green line above the red. This is great. The two lines are close to being both above 0, so that's even better. RSI above 50, that's good, and we are close to having a DMI cross. So from a technical perspective on the daily chart, Palantir is doing very, very well. It's doing very, very well. And the next thing that we are going to have to see is, can we break this downward resistance? Because this one has been in play for a long time. So see, Palantir has been basically going down since January 25th, 2021. 1 full year and more of the stock going down, slowly going down. So if we start, so let's see if we can start breaking this one here and start to start this new trend again. So but everything is good here. Everything is good. Pretty much everything is good on the daily chart. Let's look at the weekly one for a broader perspective. Okay, so weekly wise, we are getting, of course, close to this downward resistance right here. Then we have stochastic at 33. So you know, it's been several weeks since the stock has been stabilizing a little bit and even going up. Stochastic is climbing a little bit, but it's not yet there. So so I have some concern that we can break this in the next week, just because stochastic is not yet close to 60. It's possible, but it's less likely. It's less likely. MACD has just crossed over bullish, so that's nice in itself. RSI still at 37, and this is still in the red. So daily wise, it's nice. Weekly wise, it's not yet there. So weekly wise, it could do something like this and then come back down and cave in at the resistance I showed earlier. So just keep that in mind. So if you are already in, then be prepared to get out at that point. And let's look at the monthly chart. So monthly chart, we don't have enough candle to have the full picture, but monthly chart wise, we have a little bit of stochastic that's showing here. So at 7, so nothing to write nobody about, and still have to break this resistance right here. So we are barely above 9. So we seem to have bottomed a little bit, but is it a bottom that will be followed by another bottom later on? So this is entirely possible. So everything is hinging on this resistance right here. Okay, let's look at Dow Jones a little bit. Okay. Dow Jones, yeah, so we have been bouncing. So we have, this is the current downward trend. This is the current downward trend. Boom, boom, almost here, not quite. Came back down. Stochastic is not yet there, so if we don't break this resistance right here, so maybe 31,566, I would not get my hopes up for anything else. Stochastic at 40, it's not bad, but it's not 60 yet. MACD breaking over bearish, so that's one good thing. This is not good, and this is not good. So yeah, we are not quite out of the woods yet with Dow Jones. We have this downward resistance, this downward channel. As part of this bigger one, we have another one here. So even if we get out of this channel here, we still have this other one to break out of, or else we are continuing down. So, we are still in bearish territory a lot. I'm just going to do this. Weekly chart. Are we going to see something else in the weekly chart? Okay, so what I like about this weekly chart here is that we have a strong support right here. Let me just give you the right number here. 29,572. So 29,572. Okay, I need to do a little bit of cleanup here because it's hard to see things. But 25,972. Oh, sorry. 25,972. So we seem to have nice support here. Nice support. This was the top just before COVID. So we are bouncing back on that pre-COVID top, at the end of January 2020. So so that's kind of a strong support right here. It's a strong support here, Well, this was a resistance here at that point, and it was used also as resistance a little bit lower, but still close enough. And now we are using it as support. So I kind of see this as a potential good news, because if we keep that 29,572 on Dow Jones, then this will impact the whole stock market, and it will impact the whole stock market. So I don't know if it is going to hold. If it does not hold, then this will impact negatively the rest. But this is a number that's really important for Dow Jones. And stochastic at 23, not good, not good, not good, not good. So that's on the weekly chart. Let's look at the monthly. If we see something else, so monthly wise, we have even lost stochastic on the monthly chart. Remember that Tesla on the monthly chart was still was still bullish a lot, but Dow Jones, we have bullishness monthly wise here because the two lines are above zero and we don't have it anything else. So that's worrisome a little bit. That's worrisome a little bit. So that 29,572 is super important, super important. If we break this, then you know, we could be going back to 26,000 because that's the channel. Channels don't lie. Dow Jones has been in a channel since 2012. Look at this. Following this, it's following this. And sometimes it gets overexcited. Here it's just following this decently. And here it gets overexcited. Then overexcited negatively. Then overexcited this way. And now we are just coming back from this, you know, these past 2 years have been great. After COVID, you know, starting around May, even before than that, April 2020, this was a lot of excitement. A lot of excitement, and this is just coming down. This is just coming down. Each time a stock goes too far away from its support, it needs to come back down, and maybe we are coming back down. Monthly wise, we lost stochastic here. I'm just giving you things to think about, and you make your own decisions. I'm not telling you when to buy and when to sell. That's a very personal thing, super personal. Okay, so S&P pretty much in the same situation here. So S&P 3644. That's the support it's currently at. Let's look at the weekly chart. Okay, both weekly chart, yeah, in the tank. Monthly wise, in the tank also. And the same thing, the same channel here. Look at the channel going up, and got overextended super high. Maybe we are going to stabilize. It's not impossible. It's not impossible, and it would be healthy. It would be healthy if we would keep 3644 and just go sideways for maybe years. But we need to come back to support here. The support is right here. We need to come back to support in order to fuel another move up. So we can come back down to support fast, or we can come back down slow. But let's hope that we are coming, well, if we have to come back down, let's hope that we come back down fast, because, you know, it's boring when a stock stays put for 6 years. So let's not hope that we see this. Nasdaq Composite. Okay, this is the monthly chart. See how this is important here. We have two important support for that Nasdaq here. 10,534, and this one too is important. 10,855, and we have lost this one. So this one at 11,394 did not hold. But this is where we are at. And monthly stochastic is awful. MACD, the two lines are above zero, so overall it's still bullish, you know, because it has been going up so high, but everything else is not super great. And maybe I can do something like this. So maybe this is where we might end up. So if it happens that we are coming back here, if it happens, then we can start getting back in at some point. We can start getting back in. So, so I've been talking for a long time. So we've looked at all of them. Maybe Nasdaq 100. Okay, there's a little bit of support right here. 11,009. 11,009 is a nice support, you know, stayed several months above it, close to it, but above it, several months here. but stochastic is in the tank. So, you know, definitely in terms of the stock market as a whole, we could be still going down. We could be still going down. We are in a downtrend for all of these indicators, you know, downtrend right here. Overall bull trend, but in a big pullback downtrend. And it's going to end when we are going to break these resistances. If we don't break them, it's not going to stop. That's easy as pie. So I hope you enjoyed this. So thank you for watching. Thank you for asking questions and interacting with me. It's always fun to interact with real human beings. So if you like my channel, I do a Tesla and Palantir video every single day of the week. And for my members, I do a weekly live like this every Sunday, and the first Sunday of every month I do it for the public, just to get my name out. So so that's it for this one. So thank you very much, guys, and